Hey guys, what's up? Today we're gonna meet the absolute worst Super Nintendo JRPGs. That's right, I said Super Nintendo, not Super Famicom. And please remember that this is only my personal opinion. Alright, let's begin! Number 5. Secret of the Stars. Well, this game isn't actually bad. In fact, I'm only including it because out of all the others I left out, it was simply the worst. Now, it isn't great though, it's just fairly mediocre. In this game you play as Ray and several characters that will join him on a quest to destroy an ancient evil threatening the world. So, for starters, the story's classic overused plot, even by the time it was released, is meh. The interaction between these characters often feels hollow and unimportant, so you rarely care about them at all. I thought the gameplay had a solid idea, since it makes you switch between parties regularly, but it gets tedious fast. Its battles are played in turns in a very simple way. It's not innovative, but it's not bad. I honestly have nothing against the battle system. It's easy for the most part, but sometimes it spikes high and pierces your patience. So like I said, it isn't a bad game at all. It's just, well, it doesn't stand out in absolutely anything. It had some cool ideas, but all of them were poorly executed. Tecmo's attempt to compete at the strong RPG market on the Super Nintendo was notoriously lazy. I still can't believe I included this game in my SNES Hidden Gems video. Number 4. Indo Way of the Ninja. Another RPG on the list that isn't horrible, but it's kinda bad in my opinion. It's part of the Nobunaga's Ambition series, most of them being tactical games. Indo is about Indo during the year 1582 across the feudal Japan. So he's a ninja and his quest is to recruit several different characters to avenge his clan. Its battle system is turn-based, and there's really nothing at all to say about it, except the music theme, which is very catchy. The negative things about this game are as follows. Graphics look like an NES game. I know it was originally released early in the Super Famicom era, but by the time it was localized in 1993, the graphics were severely outdated. Then there's the fact that it's extremely random, and without a guide, you often won't have any clue of what to do or where to go, because the point of the game is to go around towns to recruit the NPCs to help you fight in the dungeons. Plus there's a time limit. Years progress in terms of hours or minutes, so if you don't beat the game in the required time, it'll be game over. In the end, just like with Secret of the Stars, it had interesting ideas, all of them developed with uninspiring quality. What baffles me the most is that it was released on several different computer systems, including Windows 98! Ha! Must have been a pretty big deal in Japan and China, huh? It doesn't matter, it still sucks in my opinion. Number 3. Lagoon. To date, I still lament including this piece of trash in my best JRPGs of every year series. But it was there in the 1991 video because there was literally nothing else that could have taken its place. Well, it isn't absolutely horrible, but damn is it broken. I don't need to explain how bad the controls and the hit detection are, since you can clearly see for yourself right now. This gameplay speaks volumes, doesn't it? No wonder Kemco started developing a reputation for outstanding mediocrity. It was originally developed by a company called Zoom for the X68000, so Kemco took it upon themselves to port it to the SNES. This action RPG, however, turned out to be one of the worst rip-offs of the Ys series, as it plays somewhat similar from a top-down view perspective, and you bump into enemies, and yeah. And while the premise is interesting about a dying world with polluted rivers, it all comes down to the classic hero fighting against an ancient evil. You can just forget about characters and plot afterwards, considering you won't give a rat's ass anymore. Anyway, the only redeemable aspect of this cocksucker is its soundtrack. Some themes are just badass here. Too bad they're in the wrong game. Number 2, Arcana. Arcana could have been an influential dungeon crawler in first person if only it hadn't been this bad. Again, it suffers from outdated graphics. To make it even worse, navigation through these dungeons can be a huge pain in the anus precisely because they look the same everywhere you go. Add the high encounter rate with battles spiking randomly, it makes your experience all the more obscene. Alright, another RPG with a really cool and well thought out introduction, only to fall hard with a bland and useless main character. Rooks is the last card master alive, and his job is to prevent the awakening of the evil Empress Rimsala. Make this fucktard even worse by turning it into one of the hardest and most unfair Super Nintendo RPGs. Here we go, you can only save in towns, your inventory is very limited, you can't go back to previous dungeons to grind, you can die easily for accidentally running into an FOE or a boss coming out of nowhere, and if one of your characters dies, with the exception of the summons, it's game over. Wow, are you so damn hardcore you wanna give this putrid gaming defect a chance? Go for it, but I warned you, it's not only hard, it's bad. Bad! Number 1, Draken. Oh lord, there's a huge abyss between this game and all the others in this list. It's so horrendous, it makes Arcana look like a masterpiece. One more time, Kemco decided to take something original and turn it into shameless defecation. Draken was a point-and-click adventure developed by French company Infogrames during the late 80s. It was released for the Amiga, the Atari ST, and several other computer systems. Along came Kemco to destroy its reputation by remastering the game as an RPG. No other of its kind is as cryptic, convoluted, confusing, and technically unplayable as Draken. I never, and I mean it, never understood what the game was about. All I saw was a bunch of random job-like characters looking for clues in these bland dungeons. Outside, they navigated in these three-dimensional areas full of awful vectors. I can't even explain the battle system because it's real-time and I don't even know what's going on! Look at this! This has gotta be the most depressing video game I've ever played in my life. The original French game might have been a commercial success and somewhat influential, but this reimagining port only served to give me a severe migraine. Suck my fucking dick, Kemco! Somebody invent a time machine, please, so I can go back and recover the hours I spent playing this evil abomination! You wanna play this crap? Find a way to the original point-and-click adventure. The DOS version is even on Steam nowadays, but stay the hell away from its Super Nintendo counterpart, as it is nothing but blasphemy against the beautiful 16-bit era of JRPGs. It should have been called fucking instead. Okay people, that's it. Only 5 JRPGs that I consider kinda bad in the Super Nintendo. I don't know, I wanted to do a top 10, but I couldn't. Maybe because the Super Nintendo was just like the PlayStation, a great home for JRPGs, and the huge majority of them were actually good. So yeah, only 5. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!